Alright everyone, this is one of two videos that's about to come out that are exclusively just going to be done on YouTube. There will be no stream related to it. I had asked my community on Discord if they wanted to see blind reactions to the new EP Saved by Skarlet put out. I had listened to Black Knight and Lie of the Pharisees when they first released. Never did any reactions for those, sadly. However, for today, we are going to listen first. This video is going to be of Foundation, and then also Creation and Crisis. It's going to be those two songs back to back because Foundation's like a minute long and seems to just be an instrumental. Now, the reason I'm doing this is Saved by Skarlet has given me permission to play their music on my stream, and I thought this would be a fun little thing to do, to listen, give my opinion, you know, instrumentally, lyrically, you know, see what I pick up that maybe was missed out or was not intended, maybe even see what was intended and what I pick up from that regard as well. So for now, the first one we are going to do here, like I said, it's Foundation on this video, and then it's also going to then go into the follow-up track, Creation and Crisis. So let's listen to Foundation first.
Like this whole life of learning, breaking down just to build up. You lay the foundation. We are the concrete.
Okay. Alright, now before continuing on any further, oh my, okay, we're gonna talk about that little bit there. That was, it was a chef's kiss. Honestly, it was nice. That little, you know, talks about how God lays the foundation and we build upon that foundation. We know we pour the concrete is what it said specifically here, which I thought that was a nice little take, because, you know, when building a house, you lay the foundation, then you pour the concrete, and then you build on top of that concrete. So the initial point is the foundation, though, and that I thought was, I like how they did that. And the instrumental there, it started off with a nice little, almost vibe, kind of just relaxed, sit back, this is actually just kind of going to be a nice little enjoyable situation here. But then it takes in and it hits different with the next line. You know, once it starts in, before it hits that little bit of talking about how they lay, you know, God lays the foundation and we pour the concrete. Before it does that, it kind of picks up and it hits this little it's this little, like, riff. The riff, it almost makes me kind of think more like classic metalcore kind of riff. It's got that little bit of chunk. It's, you know, the standard that you would hear back in, like, 2000s, you know, early to mid 2000s. You would hear a lot of that kind of riff. From my personal listening experience anyways, in metalcore. I thought that was really nice how it was done. And then when it hit, and after the We Pour the Concrete, that was done there with the vocal, probably Fry, I could be wrong, but that did sound more like a Fry scream. And I did interview them before, and I do believe he said they do more Fries than anything. Which, I mean, I might have to go back and look at that video now myself and see if I did actually ask him that question. Uh, but on top of that, it then took the riff and it made it hit harder. It was this intensified, stronger riff, and it was a really nice riff. And I personally felt that heavy hit that came in was really nice. Now, let's go ahead and check out their song that is the title of the EP, Creation and Crisis. See what I think of that. Right, so I'm gonna take a second now, because I think that right there was the first verse. And I like that little brief breakdown that came in that. That was very nice. The way it kicked off, it was letting you know, look, this is gonna hit you in the face, and it's gonna hit hard. Let's go back, you know. The pinch harmonics was a nice touch. I really enjoyed those pinch harmonics there. And it sounds like there was some tapping going on there with the rapid notes. That was a nice little touch as well, especially because it was done in a way that was just barely shy of dissonance, and that's always a nice touch, in my opinion. If there's one thing, it's that living isn't for the faint of heart. It says living's not for the faint of heart, which is true. In this day and age, there's a lot of things that can be interpreted really negatively and can be really looked at poorly, and there's a lot of things in this life that, you know, will knock you down, try to beat you down into the dirt, into submission, into, you know, turning your back on what you stand for and becoming of the world, which is in and of itself a problem. I personally really did like that touch, though. They were saying that, you know, it's not for the faint of heart, because them saying that is saying essentially, look, there is no easy way to get through life. It's, you gotta stand for what you believe, you gotta stand firm in that, and in this, it's saying, you know, that's the truth. In this, it's referring to belief in God specifically, but that can be applied to a lot of different areas. Peace will break into the cavity as we embark. And it's saying peace will break into the cavity as we embark. This is, from what I'm gathering, really, with that line, this is what it makes me think of. It's, we're getting the peace, and that's the peace that surpasses all understanding that we're receiving from God for living our lives, you know, the way that we're supposed to. And I really like that, you know, as we embark, as we go through life, peace will come into us. That's, you know, God gives us that peace. That right there that's very clearly, they're very much, it's easy to tell that this is talking about God, resisting the world and its vices. As human beings, we can be social creatures, which can both be good and bad. But also, one of the other things is, there's all kinds of things in this world for us to get addicted to that can turn our, you know, our attention from God and to getting the fix, getting, you know, whatever it is, that we're chasing after instead of staying firm in the word, but then also resisting the world's violence. Um, that it's pervasive, in a lot of our culture as Americans, but also throughout the entire world. The fact that there's a lot of violence everywhere, but we are to love. We are not to fight, not to try and kill, none of that, all of that. That's just nothing we're supposed to be indulging in as Christians. So I really like that little touch there too, because look, we're humans, yes, but we're also called to be like Christ, and to do that we are to stand against the violence.
No matter the night, no matter the cost, you give your life with the world in your thoughts. The chasm was wide, and we should have lost. You paid the price, pulled me out of the dark. This is creation in crisis.
Right, so that chorus, it really does speak for itself. We're lost and dying. We're part of a lost and dying world. We're fallen. It's the reality as, a Christian. It's something you have to face. But Jesus paid that price so that we could become, he's the intercessor. We can become alive again. We can have faith and trust in God and in what he did for us. He pulls us out of the darkness, out of the depths, out of the sins of the world. And by doing that, it creates a new path for us, but it also creates a crisis of we are called now to try and do more, to be better, to minister the word to those who will listen. This is all, it's very clear to me that this is all referring to that. This is creation in crisis. We were given a way that was created for us to go directly before God now and to pray directly to him. There is no more of that separation. We no longer have to sacrifice, goats or rams or whatever to atone for our sins. Now we just have to ask for that forgiveness. And the crisis now comes in of trying to not be of the world, but still be in it.
If you walk blindly, then everything will try to rule your heart. Reach out slowly, encapsulate the faith that sets apart. All reason the enemy's devices, trials and sacrifices. No matter the night, no matter the cost, you give your life with the world in your thoughts. The chasm was wide, and we should have lost. You paid the price, pulled me out of the dark. This is creation in crisis.
Ooh, I'm going to pause this here. It's building. It's coming to the actual breakdown, and I have to pause this now. So we already talked about what the chorus had to say. The second verse was very much just talking about the fact that we stand as one, fighting against the devil and against the ways of the world, which are his ways. That's pretty straightforward, at least in my head. That's exactly what that was about, and that was very straightforward and easy to understand personally. Everybody is at different places in their walk, different understanding levels. It's it happens, and that is just, for me, it felt very straightforward that, yeah, we're resisting the devil and what he stands for. Now, let's listen to this breakdown and see how this goes. So, it goes from breakdown to solo. I like that. Sorry, I personally feel as if solos are a lost and dying art in modern metal. Just me, probably. Um, but the breakdown, he just says yeah, and it hits, and you know, it doesn't matter what the breakdown call out was, right? At the end of the day, that's not the most important part. That breakdown that hit. I'm gonna go back a little bit so I can make sure I hear what comes after the breakdown. But that breakdown that hit was it was a good, it was a well-constructed breakdown. It was good, it was solid, it was very much what you expect to hear when you think of a breakdown in metalcore, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That's my opinion, that sometimes the expectations being met and not subverted or surpassed is okay. Do I think that there was anything wrong with that breakdown? Absolutely not. But let's give me a second. I want to make sure I hear what he says at the end of the breakdown correctly. Right, so just before they go into the solo, and actually as they're going into the solo, he says, cut the strings of control. Which I find interesting for a multitude of reasons. Though the biggest reason, and the one that I will share here and really get into, is that we are conditioned, we are puppets, so to speak, of the ways of the world until we accept Christ into our hearts and have him be the being we're trying to emulate, who we want to be. We are Christians. It comes from Christ-like, or little Christ. So we're trying to be like Christ, which is, I think that's really what everyone should aspire towards. Do I feel like that's what everyone does? No. But a true Christian aspires for that. Okay, I see you. I wonder if that was Nate's idea, or if that was, somebody else's from the band. Maybe Matt, maybe Alex, I don't know. I thought that was a really nice touch, personally. That was really good. That, the solo was very simple. It matched the feel of the song. You don't want to shred super fast in a slower song for a solo. You don't want to go super slow in a faster song for solo, but this was not, well, it was not technically like over the top impressive. It was a nice solid little riff, kept you interested as they came in, and then that the background dropped out, and they're just, it sounds like Nate, a couple layers, but also it sounds like there's a couple other people, maybe the other members of the band in the background singing that first part of the chorus that's on the screen now along with him, which I think is really nice. I really do enjoy that. right. Oh my goodness. That. Okay, that was good. That was really good. I really liked that. Oh my. The way that they hit that outro riff. They hit it like they had, with the first verses riff, the second verses riff. It starts off like that, but then when you think that's going to be what they take in the rest of the way through to the outro, to the end of the outro, they shifted your expectations just a little bit towards that, and then they went in a totally different direction. And I thought that was a really nice touch because, while most of the song was very much kind of what you would expect, in terms of the writing for the instrumental, and even in some capacity, the way the lyrics were composed, the way that they were performed, there was some things there that very much seemed like, okay, this is exactly what you're getting into. This is like a more classic approach to metalcore. All well and good. I like that little bit at the end, and then it almost feels like it goes into another breakdown, and he just ends saying creation and crisis. That was such... Ooh, that song was good. I really enjoyed that. I'm seriously, oh my goodness, that was so good. Personally, I really enjoyed that, and I have enjoyed all of their music so far as well. So that, and it's just, they keep leveling up. They really do. Because going back and listening to Black Knight, or listening to their album from before this EP, or even their original, tracks way back now, or at least it feels way back anyways, you hear that they've improved as they've been going. And this is just a step above Black Knight. This is a step above Lie of the Pharisees, which were the two singles that came out of this EP. This was such a solid release. It is on par with an evolving and growing band who they're continuing to get better as they go, which is something really awesome, in my personal opinion. So I really did enjoy that, and I'm so glad that I decided to listen to this and give my opinions on it. Blind reaction like my community told me to. So that's gonna be it for this first video. Then the next video I do is going to be Compass of Guiding Light. It's, there's more to it. Compass of Guiding Light, just, Saved by Skarlet. When I listen to that one, I'm expecting to hear, some similarities to this track to kind of keep it cohesive, because even, with Black Knight and Lie of the Pharisees, those two are very much cohesive, and they are a solid way to end out the EP. So I really do hope that this one stays with the same kind of feel, and it brings that intensity, because that was beautiful. That is my personal opinion. That was an amazing track. It was beautiful. I can't wait to see these guys continue to grow, and I cannot wait to listen to the next song. So with that, thank you. I am the Most Flaccid Celery. This is my VOD channel, mostly Celery VODs. However, this will also incorporate these two videos. Thank you for watching, and I do sincerely hope that you enjoyed what you saw.